As well as this video about Season 6 Episode 1, we've got a new video out now about the final episode of The Expanse, Season 6 Episode 6. You can watch it now at the link below. The final season of The Expanse has begun, and Episode 1 is called Strange Dogs. Because Season 6 is mostly adapted from the 6th Expanse book, Babylon's Ashes, but the season also adapts one of the Expanse novellas, Strange Dogs. So it begins with this girl Cara on the planet Laconia. Remember, last season, a bunch of rogue Martians, led by Admiral Duarte, went through the ring to Laconia. Cara is the daughter of some scientists who came here years earlier. Cara grew up here, so Laconia is her home. She loves exploring and frolicking with the wildlife, like an extraterrestrial Snow White. She sees a strange dog-looking thing that she's never seen before, and she gives food to an alien bird. In the book, she describes how she once read a story about a lady on Earth who feeds bread to birds, so she figured she could do the same thing here. But this isn't Earth. Human food isn't compatible with alien biology, so her food hurts the bird, to Cara's horror. So Cara likes Laconia, but there's a clash between humanity and this alien world. Strange Dogs is about the unexpected results of humans and aliens interacting. It's also an immigration story about a kid growing up in a new place and reconciling her family's past with her future in a new home. We see alien structures on Laconia, just like the ones on Ilus in Season 4, and we see this mysterious thing in orbit above the planet. We know the scientist Cortazar is studying this thing, trying to control it, and he has a protomolecule sample. On the thing in orbit, we see the blue glow of protomolecule. In the past, messing with the protomolecule and alien tech has been disastrous. On Ilus, it almost blew up a whole planet. In the ring space, it changed physics and killed thousands. On Eros, it consumed an entire moon and all the humans on it. But Cortazar and Duarte are determined to harness this alien power. What could possibly go wrong? Marco Inaros, extremist leader of the Belter Free Navy, continues to hit Earth with rocks, causing apocalyptic destruction. Millions are dead, the environment is devastated, the home of humanity is broken. In the book, we get a chapter with Anna and her wife and child on Earth, struggling to survive under a sky dark with ash. But many Belters celebrate Marco's attack and join his free navy. They see it as justice that Earth is suffering, because for 100 years Belters have suffered under Earth's oppression. This Belter activist guy is the same one we saw on Ceres way back in Season 1, Episode 1. He protested against Earthers taking their water and air, and he said in Season 1 that when a hail of stones hits Earth, maybe then Earthers will understand the suffering of the Belt, because now it's the Earthers who don't have water and clean air. It's the Earthers who don't have a safe home. So now they know what it's like to be Belters. We see that survivors of Pallas are vowing revenge, because Pallas is a Belter station that was attacked by Earth last season. Avasarala had argued that they shouldn't attack Pallas, because that would kill civilians and turn more Belters against Earth. They attacked Pallas anyway, and what do you know, the survivors want revenge. Killing civilians just made more terrorists. Earth's ships are defending the planet, destroying most of the incoming rocks, but for Avasarala, it's not enough. Marco's free navy is growing stronger, while Earth is dying. The dust thrown up by the rock strikes blocks the sun like a nuclear winter, killing plant life and starving the planet. Avasarala says that she never liked shooting stars. This calls back to Season 1, where she looked up at shooting stars and said she worries about people throwing rocks. Turns out she was right to worry. She mentions that they're repurposing their atmospheric CO2 scrubbers to try and clean the atmosphere. Maybe those CO2 scrubbers were originally used to stop climate change on Earth. Because the backstory in The Expanse is that global warming made the ice caps melt and sea levels rose. We see that Anchorage is now an island, and the Statue of Liberty's almost got her feet wet. It was the crisis of climate change that forced the countries of Earth to unite under the United Nations for governance. And it looks like they mostly succeeded in saving the Earth's environment, until now. The journalist Monica demands answers and accountability from Avasarala. She highlights how dangerous it is that Marco now controls the ring space. The ring space and Medina Station are the central hub that controls access to all 1,300 ring gates. All of the colony worlds beyond those gates, like Ilus, are now at the mercy of Marco. Marco could be doing whatever he wants to 1,000 worlds, and Earth and Mars wouldn't even know. Avasarala gets away from it all and enjoys floating in zero gravity for a moment. Usually, Avasarala hates space.
I fucking hate space.
But now she enjoys the weightlessness. Avasarala always feels weighed down by the responsibility of governing Earth, of protecting the billions of people on it, of carrying the planet like Atlas. She works so hard, and still everyone blames her for everything, from riots in Kinshasa to Marco's control of distant space. In the book, she fantasizes about retiring to some alien ocean where she won't feel responsible for making the waves go up and down. Avasarala hates her job, and her sidekick Bobby hates hers too, but millions are dying, so they do the work that needs to be done. The Roci crew hunt down and destroy a Free Navy ship. This is day 187 of their mission, and there's a sense of exhaustion and futility among the crew. Amos suggests they should be getting paid for this, saying that they're not soldiers, questioning their purpose here. The crew are still grieving the death of Alex. They're stressed and tense with each other. How much longer can this war go on? They find a drive on a rock intended to be launched at Earth, so Holden goes to disable it, but it warms up to fire, which could kill him. Naomi tells him to run, but instead he bravely stays and hits it till it breaks, which is the same strategy he used on this coffee machine. So Holden almost dies, and Naomi is upset. The books talk about how stressful and painful it is for her when Holden constantly throws himself into danger. He plays the hero and risks his life all the time, so Naomi can never feel that her partner is safe. Holden realizes that he's kind of an arsehole to do that to her, and he promises Naomi to be more careful for all of them. Is that a promise he can keep? Clarissa Mao is on the Roci now. She once killed a bunch of people and tried to kill Holden, but Amos made friends with her and brought her on board. Amos and Clarissa work together well. She's learned quickly to be a mechanic, though she mentions she didn't have much experience with this stuff in her old life. She used to spend more time planning fancy parties, as we saw in a Season 3 flashback. But Naomi doesn't like Clarissa and gets angry at Amos for bringing her. "Do you think you can do whatever you like now?" she asks. Amos used to be totally loyal and obedient to Naomi, almost like he was her son. Miller called him Naomi's 200-pound homicidal kid. But now Amos has grown up, and he's become more independent from Naomi, and he's got his own homicidal follower now in Clarissa. So Naomi is having trouble accepting this new independent Amos. With Clarissa on board and Alex dead, the relationships on the Roci are changing. Everything's in flux. Can this unlikely family stay together? Holden discovers footage of the Laconian ship the Barkeith being eaten by the mysterious alien entities in the ring. Remember, we saw its destruction at the end of last season. Holden says this reminds him of the artifact on Ilus, which was a weapon used by the entities to destroy the builders who made the ring billions of years ago. So, on top of their family fracturing, Earth dying, Laconians having protomolecule, and Naomi's evil ex conquering space, they've also got interdimensional genocidal aliens to worry about. Naomi figures out that Marco's rocks are being guided by a spotter ship called the Azure Dragon. If they can destroy it, they could reduce the threat to Earth and free up Earth's ships to go after Marco. This could be the victory Earth desperately needs against the Free Navy Belters. But Naomi has mixed feelings. She's a Belter. These are her people they're fighting against. Her son, Filip, is with the Free Navy. Can she go to war against her own child? Marco's Free Navy takes over Ceres, the biggest port in the Belt. Back in Season 1, Episode 1, we learned that Ceres is the gateway for immense wealth and resources, but Ceres was controlled by Earth, who exploited and oppressed the Belters who lived there. So OPA leader Amos and Dawes worked to make Ceres independent, to make it a home for Belters run by Belters. And he succeeded. By Season 2, Dawes was running Ceres as an OPA Belter station. Through long, careful management, the great negotiator outlasted his status as a rebel and became a respectable politician. After Season 2, Dawes' actor left the show, but off-screen, Dawes continued to work alongside Fred Johnson to make the OPA a legitimate Belter government in peace with Earth and Mars. The Earth government called him a friend. But some Belter extremists hated Dawes for collaborating with the enemy. They called him Welwala, a traitor to his people. And now Marco has risen up on a wave of that violent extremism. Last season, Marco killed Fred Johnson, and now he reveals he's killed Dawes too. Marco has wiped out the moderate center of the OPA and made himself the only option for leadership of the Belt. Marco installs Sandrani as administrator of Ceres. Sandrani is a man in the books but is non-binary in the show, and they're trying to make a plan to grow food for the Belt, because most of humanity's food came from Earth, and by attacking the planet, Marco has put billions at risk of starvation, including the Belt. Belt stations like Ganymede make food, and the Free Navy's been stealing some food from the colony ships heading out to the Ring, but it's not enough, and unless they build a sustainable system to feed the Belt quickly, millions of Belters will starve, along with Earth. Marco is not very interested in feeding his people and dismisses Sandrani's concerns. He's more interested in his personal vendettas, wanting to hunt down Drummer and Naomi. For Marco, this isn't really about helping the Belt. He only really cares about his selfish desires and his ego. Marco's son Filip uses his status as the great leader's son to get sex. Filip has a lot of complicated, frustrated feelings about his place in the world, his parents, and his need for intimacy, so maybe this is an emotional outlet for him. Or maybe he just likes sex. But Filip acts rude and entitled, and he uses people, just like his dad does. Filip's friend Johan has a vest made of alligator skin. To him, it's a trophy of victory to wear a luxury item from the defeated Earth. He says now that Earth's environment is broken, soon there won't be any more of this stuff. Industry will collapse, animals will go extinct. This could be the last leather vest out of Earth. To Belters like Johan and Filip, that might not mean much. They barely know what an alligator is. But to Earthers like us, the cultural and ecological death of Earth is a tragedy. The Belters and the Inners fail to see each other's perspective, and that's what leads to dehumanization and atrocity. Marco gives a speech about how Ceres will be the capital of a new Belter nation. This dream of a Belter nation was shared by Naomi, Ashford, and Fred. It's a worthy goal, and Marco says all the right things, but Filip knows that it's bullshit. Marco's not really willing to do the work of building a nation. He's not really the selfless, heroic leader he pretends to be. Filip does feel loyal to Marco, but he's increasingly full of doubts. Filip and Johan hang out with a couple of girls and brag about their victories with the Free Navy, but then Johan brings up Filip's role in the attack on Earth. Filip stole the stealth tech that coated the rocks, and Filip killed the scientists who saw the rocks coming. Filip helped kill millions of people. Last season, Naomi told Filip that one day he will feel guilt for that atrocity, and that he'll realize that Marco made him a murderer. Naomi's words had an impact on Filip, so he leaves and wrestles with his feelings. Rosenfeld tells Marco that Medina Station is installing Laconian pieces. We know Marco and Laconia made a deal that Marco can rule the Sol system and Duarte can rule Laconia. So now it looks like Laconia is also providing some technological support for Medina. Rosenfeld says they need to reinforce the abutments. So what are they building in there? Filip tries to get involved and says the Free Navy must feed the belt, but Marco and Rosenfeld brush him off. So again, Filip is rejected by his father and feels that he can't help the belt. So why is he here? What was all the fighting for? Was Naomi right? Filip doesn't know how to handle all his feelings, so he gets drunk and harasses a bartender. When Johan turns up, Filip starts a fight with him and then shoots him dead in a stupid, drunk, impulsive murder. Filip has killed lots of people before, but Johan was his friend, killed at his hands for no reason. Will Filip finally face the consequences of his violence? And how will Marco react? In the book, Filip just shoots a security guy at a club, and the guy doesn't die. So the show makes it much more dramatic by having Filip kill a friend instead. Drummer and her family are hunted by Marco's forces after her betrayal of Marco last season. She lures an enemy ship into a trap with her ship the DeWalt, which she controls remotely from her other ship, the Tynan. But Drummer's partner Michio fucks up and presses the wrong button, forcing Drummer to blow up the DeWalt to destroy the enemy ship. So Drummer loses a ship and all the supplies on it because of Michio's mistake. Michio is one of Drummer's partners in a polyamorous family, but Michio isn't a fighter, she isn't trained for war, so Drummer decides to remove her from the crew and leave her behind. Last season, Drummer's partner Serge was killed. Her partners Oksana and Bertolt left. Now Michio's gone too. How much more can Drummer lose to this war? Amazon also released an extra bonus scene for this episode about Drummer's relationships with her crew and with Naomi. You can find it on Amazon Prime Video by clicking on X-Ray, then bonus content. So Season 6 of The Expanse is the result of 5 seasons of build-up. A century of tension and resentment between Earth and the Belt is coming to a climactic, violent resolution. And everyone's relationships are being pushed to breaking point. Can the families of the Roci crew, Drummer, and Filip survive this conflict? Can the inner planets and the Belt coexist without destroying each other? And, most importantly, what's up with the weird space dogs? There are 5 episodes left of The Expanse. We'll release a video all about the finale of The Expanse on the day the last episode comes out. Please subscribe to this channel and give it a comment and a like. Thank you to Amazon Prime Video UK for sponsoring and making these videos possible. Cheers.